Hello everyone, welcome back to the tutorial for setting up an open course. This is the third task where we'll be adapting our open course to suit the needs of our students. Previously, you have downloaded and imported your cartridge into Canvas, edited the settings, changed the homepage, and made any adjustments to the syllabus that you needed to. In this tutorial, we'll be looking at ways to adapt and adjust your course. So let's go on. We'll begin by opening your open course that's unpublished. For this example, we'll still be using educational technology, so go ahead and click on the link. We're going to go to Settings, and under the Navigation tab, you'll see a list of all the items that you see on the left-hand side. You can adjust the order of those by dragging these around. So you can have your students have a different view of their items on the left-hand side in their Canvas. You can also hide any items that you don't want students to see. So typically, it's good practice to hide your assignments, discussions, any of the activities that your students will be doing for their courses. It's a good idea to have the students go through the modules individually so that they can see all of the information and all of the lecture notes, readings, videos, and do the assignments in order. Okay, so there's different items here. You can adjust them as you like. Once you're satisfied with your changes in the navigation bar, you can go ahead and press save. The next part we're going to be looking at is editing and adapting your modules. So you can go ahead and click on the navigation bar to your left, click on modules. And here are listed all of the modules for this course using educational technology. And so there's 8 modules in this 8-week course. If we look at this arrow here, this will hide all the items in the module. We can also expand them. You can adjust the order of the modules if you'd like. I think it's easier when you hide everything, but this probably isn't a good idea, so we're going to move it back. You can adjust the order of the items within your different modules. And each icon has a different meaning. So this would be a page, this is a discussion, this is an assignment. And so there's different icons and different items that you can add to your module. So we're going to look at how to edit the module. If you click on the 3 dots where the module is, this would allow you to edit. You can change the lock date, so when this item is going to be available. So let's go ahead and change it to the date that we're going to be using for this course. So I'm going to use the 24th. We'll start at 7 a.m., 7:01, and we can add a requirement. So this module probably won't need a requirement, but if you wanted to add a requirement where they had to complete all the items or have to complete another module before moving on to this one, you can do that right here and go ahead and click X to remove that. And once you're finished editing the title or the lock date, you can press update module. If you want to update the module itself, then you can either click here. This actually will only change the name of the module, and you can also indent it 1 level. And then once you're finished with that, go ahead, press update. If you want to update the actual module itself, go ahead and click on the module. So this is a discussion, and once we're in here, all the images will load up. These assets are actually going to be stored in the files. So if you're importing a cartridge, you won't have any need to update any broken links or anything. These should all be self-contained within this. This also includes a grading criteria that they've created. I believe this is an image, and Canvas actually allows you to add rubrics, and we'll talk about that in another tutorial. So if you want to edit this tutorial, you can go ahead and do that. You can change the image if you'd like. You can change any information that's here. If there's a name or a date that's off, we can change that. And that's the information on the page itself. We can also change any of these options. So if this is going to be a graded discussion, we can click on graded. You can allow liking, threaded replies. Go ahead and look through all these options. I'm not going to go into detail on everything. You can make this a group discussion, which means that if you've made groups under the people navigation bar, you'll be able to have discussions just between small groups. You can adjust the points, and most important is the assign. So we can assign this to everyone. Here we're going to have to change the due date because the course actually starts later since I've changed the date. But this is April 24th. We're going to have to change the due date. Let's make it at the end of the week. It's going to be available starting August 24th as well. And we're going to go until the end of the week. And you can adjust this as you like. I'm just doing this so that we can go on to the next. Once you're finished with all of this, you can go ahead and press save. In this next part, we'll show you how to add a module. So the assignment is going to ask you to include a welcome page similar to this course's welcome page in order to build an online community. So first you're going to click on plus module. And once you do that, you can add a new module. You can call it whatever you'd like, maybe week 0. That's what I like to call this. And this will be the welcome page. And you can lock this whenever you want. You can add a requirement. As we've learned, it's going to be added to the very bottom. So we're going to have to drag it all the way to the top. And hopefully I can do this. It's trickier than it looks, apparently, because everything is open. So we're going to put this on the very top. And here you can add any modules that you'd like. You can click on any resources that you would like to add, but here we're going to click on the plus button, and we're going to choose to add first maybe a page that welcomes them. So we're going to call this the welcome page. And under the welcome page, you can edit this and add whatever you would like. So right now it's going to be blank, and you can add a greeting. So hello everyone. I'm not going to go into detail on how to make a welcome page. You can do this on your own. Once you do that, you can save it. The next part, if you go back to modules, you can add another part. So let's add a discussion this time. So we're going to choose discussion. And we're not going to choose any of these previous ones. This is a way that you can just add another discussion so that it continues on and on. There is an introduction discussion, and you can use that, but we're just going to probably delete that one if we're adding our own. But let's call this community building. Going to add the item. And once you do that, it's going to be right there. Remember, again, you can adjust the order of these modules. We're going to click on this time, and we're going to edit it. So it's blank right now, so students see this, they can reply to it. Add any instructions that you would like. I think it's very important to clearly state any objectives for students, giving examples. If you don't include an example in the instructions, maybe add your post before the class starts, and that way students get a model for how they want to write. So usually what we found is that students tend to write much more than they're asked to do. So make sure that you give a requirement about paragraph length or what to say. So in your instructions, be very explicit with what your students should be saying on the discussion board. All right, and once you're done with that, you can go and look at the different options you have. You want to make this a threaded reply. You probably want to make this graded. I allow liking, which is a nice way to have the students be able to give a comment without actually writing a comment. And here we're going to put 2 points, and you can assign the due dates and all of that fun stuff that we've already learned. So this is not how you should be making your discussions, but I'm just showing you the basic examples. Remember, you can add an image if you'd like. Search Flickr. Another tool that you can use is the Creative Commons images. So if you just search for Creative Commons images, you'll come to this page, and everything here that you'll search for, let's look at if there's a word for, there's pictures for community. Oh, there are some. Okay, so you can include an image from here. You can save it to your computer and then upload it to your Canvas account and then include that as well. You can also always search Flickr for some Creative Commons images. So let's see if there's anything for community here. And maybe we can add this image. Probably not the best image, but you get the point. And I'm going to just adjust that. So a lot of this feels like Word document. You're just moving items around. You can bold and make instructions in italics. Write an introduction and be very explicit. Okay, so what they should write, their names, where they're from, things like that. And like our tasks, we had something kind of interesting. So we had students show their desktop, maybe have students show an image from their life or of their family. I think it kind of depends on the course. So maybe for using educational technology, I would ask them to show something that they use on a daily basis, some kind of technology. And once you're done with that, you can go ahead and press save. So for this task, we want you to add 2 different items to this module, and we're going to be adding our participants, which are your team members, into your course so that they can participate in this community building exercise. So once you've added your 2 tasks to the welcome page, here we've added a discussion, but you'd also want to include an assignment similar to the Google Maps assignment that we included in our community building page. Then you can move on to the next part, okay? And that's where we're going to be adding in participants into our course. So go to Settings in the navigation bar. And if you haven't done so already, go all the way down, choose More Options. Make sure that Let Students Self-Enroll by sharing with them a secret URL or code is checked. Okay, and this will include this dialog here. And you can use this URL in your welcome email to your students, so that they can click on this link and join your class. You can also just give them the join code, which is right here. And then once you do that, if you go to People, you'll see the students that have enrolled into your class. You can also add students here by adding their emails separated by a comma. And once students get added, you can change their role if you'd like. So if you want to make a student an observer or a designer, you can do that. I'm not going to be able to show you because there's no one in my course at the moment. But yeah, if you have any questions about anything that we've gone over today, please let me know in the comments. Use the knowledge base. Ask each other, and then there will be a discussion about any questions that you have about making Canvas pages, editing, adapting, adding modules, as well as other online collaboration tools such as Zoom or Flipgrid or things like that that we'll be discussing during the live session at the end of the week. All right, thanks everybody, and I'll see you next time.